I should have tried to wear something purple. I didn't know you were gonna get fully decked out.
Yeah,
I thought you were just gonna wear the
purple.
scarf.
Yeah, we're the Purple Boys, Purple Army. We'll talk about that later today because we I don't know. I feel like starting the show talking about something that 1% of the listener base know that we're talking about, like they know what's going on. I feel like that's a bad way to start the show. Sliced my finger today.
No.
I like how I'm like, yeah, we should probably talk about Doctor Who or something at the start of the show, and then I'm just like, I sliced my finger. Yeah, it's like, is that my neighbor again?
This is Aidan's neighbour who loves to do DIY at, what time is it? 10 to 7.
Yeah, we made a joke. It's like, he finishes work and is like, time to get to work.
Time to get on my DIY personal stuff now. Thank you.
Yeah.
This is my time to blow off some steam.
It's a weird one. Anyways, I sliced my thumb at work today. We have these big horse aerials.
Okay,
and I was
so
just
it wasn't
like,
on a church piece or something?
No, I was just like pulling this big aerial out the back of my car, and I just like fumbled with it. And I always hurt myself carrying them just because they're really pointy, and like, you know, when you hold something like sharp and it just like digs into you for ages, it hurts.
Yeah, I
always do that with it because it's like no way to carry them without doing that.
Yeah, right.
And then I like fumbled with it, and it like sliced my thumb open, and like literally like it started bleeding a bit, and it was like quite thick, and I was like, oh, this is fine, and I just like carried everything.
Yeah.
And then like got it into the room, and then I like took a Snapchat of it, and then as soon as I stopped Snapchatting, I was like, oh, I should probably go wash this off or something. Mm-hmm. And then as I was walking, it just went like,
and now it's starting to come out. Yeah.
It literally like I don't think I've ever bled that much in my life. Like it was crazy, like gushing.
Finger cuts are really bad though, because like you're obviously always using your fingers,
yeah,
and your hands, and like even the little ones are just bad.
Dog. So now I've got this fucking.
Yeah, interesting. I thought you were in the church and like on like a mantelpiece or something, and it was like God trying to get back at you for all the sinning.
Yeah, it's like you swear too much on 50%.
Yeah, that's enough to go to hell, I think.
Yeah.
And make a deal with God. That's what you'll be singing.
I can't believe it.
There's probably a metaphor for cutting yourself at a church. There's probably some...
Yeah, like some sin or sorts. I don't know.
It's like if you see too many crows, it's a bad sign.
It's a bad omen.
A crow actually literally just landed near me today. I was like, fuck, what's next?
Some dodgy shit going on.
What's going to happen?
Dodgy shit going on.
What's going to happen?
I can't believe we're talking about Sleep No More today.
Yeah.
Which I don't want to do.
Oh, and we're sober, by the way.
We are sober, which is, it's a shame because it's like...
It's funny that.
It's the episode where we probably should have got really pissed to talk about, but we're sober today. Sober show.
We kind of both... You messaged me about going on a bit of a health cleanse, and I was like, well, that's funny because starting Monday, just gone, today's Thursday, I also started a cleanse, and I was like, you know, I do want to kind of cut back on drinking in the weeknights, and if I do drink, I might try and do what you were doing, like a healthier alternative, like your gins. And I've been trying to get into a bit of wine, and wine's not healthy, but it's a healthier alt than beer. And just cutting back on like, I like energy drinks quite a lot, which is really bad. And I've not had one all week, so I'm pretty proud of that. Yeah,
good on you.
It's like it's like I've quit smoking.
Yeah.
I haven't, but
yeah, I was gonna say that's one that you should do to be healthy.
I don't smoke that much.
Yeah.
Anymore.
Social smoker.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, fair.
Like the Dockers, they're a fucking bunch of Dory munchers, aren't they?
The Dockers, my Freo boys, they don't...
Your Freo boys?
We'll get into Freo in a bit, okay?
My Freo boys.
Okay.
As well.
Okay. How's your day, Connor?
Oh, God, I finished like 5 o'clock, played a quick game of FIFA.
Bang, bang.
Players Perth Glory, lost 3-4, really mad. I was 3 up, 3-0 in the first half. And I think I got too cocky. All right, it was a reverse Freo on Saturday night. I keep bringing Freo up.
No, we gotta save that for later. Everyone's gonna turn off.
No, I'm just kidding. Like, I started really good and then just went terrible.
Yeah, right.
And they got 4 goals in the second half, and I finished really late. And then I'd watched about 15 minutes of this episode on, I think, Tuesday or Monday night, and then I finished the rest, like the last half an hour today after like showering and stuff.
Yeah.
And just
haven't
had much time to chill, actually.
We both left this episode very late. I literally, I've had a super flat out week, and then like, I got home and I was like, fuck, I like really need to eat. I've not eaten. So I was like cooking pasta, and I was like, Connor's going to be here in an hour. I've got a 45-minute episode to watch. I hope this pasta cooks quick.
Yeah.
And it was like, it got to a point where I was like, pasta looks pretty good. It's not, the timer hasn't. I've got a few minutes left on the timer, but I'm just going to take it and run.
I love it.
I think it might have been slightly undercooked. Slightly.
Okay.
A smidgen. But it was fine.
You gotta make sacrifices.
You do. And then, I finished the episode at 6:28, and Connor was like meant to be at 6:30. So that was good timing. Good. Well done, Aidan.
To be fair, I was like, do you need like 15 minutes? You're like, no, I'm good. And I'm like, damn, man, you really planned everything to a...
That's me, mate.
To a absolute key.
That
which
is me.
I respect. I respect a man with good timing.
Yeah.
It
was
rough
timing.
Night.
Oh, yeah, I missed a thumbnail for one of the videos.
Fine.
My bad.
It's just some random Google image.
Yeah.
I love that. I was like, this would be the time you wake up and the video's got like heaps of views. After putting no effort into trying to fucking promote it or putting a thumbnail on it, it'll be the best.
I kind of had that thought too.
It'll be the best thing we've ever done.
Yeah.
And it did alright.
Yeah.
But,
Madness.
Yeah, go watch it now. Clips every week.
On the 50% Doctor Who podcast YouTube channel.
It was hard to find clips. That's no disrespect to Vinny or...
Yeah, last week we had Vinny on the show.
Yeah, it was just
lovely muso. And we spoke a lot about like her art and music that she makes and stuff like that, which for a Doctor Who YouTube channel where we post little clips from the podcast makes it hard to clip, right?
Yeah, because I feel like we were saying this between like takes, like it would be nice if we could, I said to you that it's very rarely do I feel like I feel a little bit in a box with the whole Doctor Who podcast thing. Very rarely. I think that was one of those times where I was like, damn, it would be cool to maybe just like upload a clip talking about creativity. But I was like, nah, it ain't broken, don't fix it.
Yeah, right.
And we can always as well explore other options of other shows whilst doing this, and that's what I'm thinking. So it was I actually really liked the episode. I was really proud of how it went. So
I like how you said in between takes.
Well,
like,
when
you
I say
break the illusion for the viewer. That's all one seamless show.
Well, when I say that, I mean the Zoom runs out every 30, isn't it?
Yeah, and the camera stops. But also sometimes we just
take it,
just chat about something in between that
and then cuts it out because it's boring as hell.
No, but sometimes I need to ask a question to you and Vinny off air about steering the ship of where we're going. You know what I mean? We just to give it a bit of coherency.
Aidan, have you seen any Zygon episodes? Remember when I did that?
Oh, that was so funny.
I don't know what happened, but it cut. It cut before when the Zoom cut off or the camera cut off, and I was asking Aidan if he'd seen any Zygon episodes, and then Aidan's like, I asked the question again. And when he said again, I said, Aidan, have you seen any Zygon episodes? You're like, no.
So I
because you wanted to cut it, and it would have been obvious because it would have started with again, Aidan, have you seen any?
Yeah. I told Connor what to say next as a prompt back into the show, but then he started saying it before I'd finished telling him to say
He's
it.
like, no, go back. Stop again. So that's why I went, Aidan, have you seen any Zygon episodes?
It sounds funny when you listen to it because you're clearly pissed off saying it. I'm like, because we did it 6 times.
No one would know. That's the thing. And I'm like, damn, I sound fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But no one knows. So now you know.
Nothing new there.
If you notice, okay, I can leave. I drove here, okay.
Can you ask me how my day was?
Oh, yeah.
I gave him, before we started the show,
one prompt you gave me.
I was like, I need you to ask me how my day was. Okay. Not that I should even have to ask you to ask me that.
Sorry, I love how you asked me first.
Yeah, I know. That was my cue as well.
I'm laughing on the way. I'm like, fuck this guy's day.
My cue was I'll ask him how his day was. That's a nice thing to do, and it will remind him to ask me.
I forgot. I'm sorry.
Okay. How was
your day?
Thanks for asking.
It's okay.
Bad day. Not a great day. And I think the best way I can summarize it is with a pretty gross story of what happened to me towards the end of the day. And I warn you, if you get grossed out by shit easily and you don't want to hear it,
squeamish, jump
ahead a minute. So I'll do a short story by Aidan Green. But it's pretty fucking gross, to be honest. Okay. So if you want to jump ahead a minute, go for it. I will understand. Okay, basically, because all my family's away at the time of recording. Mm-hmm. So it's me running the house at the moment. Got my doggo, little Gam.
Yeah.
And I've been super busy, haven't had time to take her out for a walk. I was like, got to take her out for a walk today. I need to. Another bit of pressure on me watching the show. I was like, fuck, I can't take her out for a long walk. I got to be quick. Yeah. So I was like, speed walking. Anyways, her tummy was a bit rumbly, which usually means she gets a bit of an upset tummy quite often.
Okay.
Right? Took her out. She does poo. Poo's fine. Okay. Number 1 poo is good.
Okay.
She goes out, does number 2 poo. Not as good. It's quite
runny.
Yeah, it's a bit runny, bit squishy.
Yeah.
And so, as you do, as a good dog owner, I went to go, put my hand in the bag, reach down, grab the poo. Mm-hmm. Right. I'm a seasoned dog walker, right? I take Gem out all the time, me and Gem. At some point during me reaching down to grab Gem's poo, my fingers have somehow made their way out of the bag, and I've picked Gem's poo up 50% with my bare skin.
Oh dear.
And it was fucking gross. Bear in mind this was sloppy ass shit.
And
literally
also,
shit.
where do you wash your hands and shit?
I was a third into the walk, and I was I've just got to commit to this now. So but when I saw I had shit on my hand, I was like, oh, fuck. And in my fuck, I half dropped the bag. And so the runny shit that was in the bag then was flying out of the bag, and in literally slow motion, my legs and feet just avoided every single drop of shit that came out of it. But it was literally millimeters off of touching me. Each drop was bloop, 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 bloop. I was like, fuck me. So I had to walk for 15 minutes with shit on my hand.
Did you did you wipe on the grass and stuff?
I wiped a bit on the bag that didn't have shit on yet. But it was still just stained my fingers. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyways, enough poo talk, but that summarizes my day, is what I want to say. I never thought I'd be talking about grabbing poo with my bare hands.
I think we will talk
about
shit again, to be honest, Aidan.
We all talk about shit?
Yeah, we are going to talk about shit today.
Oh my, that's a segue. That's a segue into talking about Sleep No More.
It is.
We are the 50%.
That's exactly what it is.
We are the 50% Doctor Who podcast. We talk about Doctor Who every single week. Mm-hmm. My name's Aidan.
I'm Connor.
I almost said my name's Connor, by the way. I don't know what the fuck happened there. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at 50Doctor and see clips of the episodes or the full episodes of the podcast, our beautiful faces, on the 50% Doctor Who podcast YouTube channel. Fun times ahead, folks. Fun times ahead.
50% podcast.
This is a before I even read the thing, this is a miss.
Our Octo Moody Peter, for the first time in a while, I think.
Yeah, our little Octo Moody
that's been sad.
Shows
sad.
What we think of the
more
episode.
mad, actually, more cross.
He's a cross Octo Moody. Sleep No More is the 9th episode of the 9th series of the British science fiction television series Doctor Who, first broadcast on the 14th of November 2015. This was the season that ran really close to Christmas and then still did a Christmas special. That was always weird to me.
That's right, there was only a couple of weeks.
I think it was just a 2-week break between the finale and the Christmas special.
That's right, I remember that.
It was marked the first time an episode of the series had not featured any opening titles, which were in the end credits. The episode is a found footage video engineered and narrated by Geggen Rasmussen Reese Shearsmith, a crew member of a space station orbiting Neptune in the 38th century. And there's dust people, sleep pods. There is a fantastic song. Dun 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 dun. Mr. Sandman. Oh God, pain. That's the episode we're going to be talking today. Like we said, it's written by Mark Geddes and directed by Justin Molontikov, a name I don't remember from anything.
Man, those Sand people look so goofy.
The Sandman.
Especially in the...
Mr. Sandman.
There's a picture of it on Aidan's laptop, and it's in light, and those Sand people look so goofy.
Looks so bad. We do have a little bit of news, though, before we get into this.
That's correct.
A little bit of news. Just to brighten your day.
Why? Is it about the centenary, Aidan? Which comes out next month.
There's no news about the centenary, Connor. Why would you even ask that?
What the hell?
They're kidding. We're not marketing experts. We're not going to touch that topic. Okay, this is an article from Cultbox titled Doctor Who 60th Anniversary Specials, Third Director Discovered. On the CV of makeup artist Stevie Smith, who worked on David Tennant's makeup for the specials, director Tom Kingsley is listed alongside Tolele and Button as the 60th Anniversary Specials director. So we already knew Rachel Tolele was coming back. We knew that Chandler Button, I think, was the name. Mm-hmm. Chanya Button, was the name of the other director, and that was episodes 1 and 3 respectively. We didn't know who was directing episode 2, and now we have an answer in Tom Kingsley, who has directed Ghosts and a few other British dramas, and I think a few feature films. I think I saw in his little filmography.
It's funny. It's mostly through things like this where people are doing like their resume, where you find out who is directing things.
I like how some innocent man is just like, woman, sorry, in this case, is just like, I'm just going to update my resume, Doctor Who.
Chuck who the director was.
Meanwhile, like, 100,000 people on Twitter are like, oh my God! Also, who finds this shit?
I don't know. People must be like really digging.
Yeah.
But it does pretty much confirm that we're getting specials, which we all knew.
Yeah.
But they haven't said. Probably mostly just because of Jodie's special come out next month. They probably don't want to talk about it, which is fine. But yeah, this is really cool. And even Rachel on Twitter tweeted this guy and said, welcome to the club. And pretty much confirmed it that it's happening. Mm-hmm. He even posted a little picky with like a photoshopped Matt Smith in the background, which sent people crazy.
Yeah, which makes you think though. Mm-hmm. Like I know, so this Instagram picture he posted, him in front of a TARDIS. And yeah, they photoshopped Matt Smith inside the TARDIS. Now, obviously, that's there. Bit of banter, making it a bit wild. But is he also maybe being like a bit cheeky and being like, oh, I'm not confirming anything, that kind of thing. But here's Matt Smith.
It's an interesting thing to do.
Smith behind me.
It is an interesting thing to do.
Maybe he just knows fans are going to go bananas.
It's also like, but it's also rule one not to say anything. So I feel like surely he wouldn't just do that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, surely you'd be under complete secrecy.
Maybe Russell's just like
can't. Yeah, maybe he's
super loose with this kind of thing.
Maybe he could. Yeah, I mean, I know Rachel was tweeting stuff before he got announced. Like, so I'm sure it could be true. I mean, I want it to. Like seeing Matt in like House of Dragon just makes me want him back in Who.
Yeah.
Like even if it's like just a little
Geronimo.
Yeah, he walks out.
Yeah,
just give me one Geronimo.
We need Geronimo, and we just need like a big sentence like that sounds like the end of the speech. Like, I can't think of any lines. I don't have anything to lose. Like something like that. Yeah.
And then he goes.
Yeah.
Then he's out.
I've walked in universes where the laws of physics were devised by the mind of a madman. We just need something like that.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Interesting indeed.
I mean, we are kind of all picking at scraps at the moment, but
it's fun to do, right?
It's fun to do, but also we do, like you tweeted yesterday, we get an episode next month, and even I was like, we do. That's a good point.
Jodie's last episode gonna be sad. We got some classic companions,
and we'll start promoting it soon. I'm like, my brother in Christ, it's next month. Of course you are. You think we're fucking crazy?
Yeah.
Maybe you should.
Yeah, we're probably realistically 5 to 6 weeks out from the episode. So
I'm doing this for that trailer.
Content. Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck? Look, drop a trailer. All right.
Drop it like it's hot.
Drop it like it's hot with a title and a release date.
Connor, we got the title. Yes. It's called Dry.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Silly me.
Silly
I
Connor.
could imagine if it was dry.
Bit of hot news from last week.
What if it actually was dry?
If it is called Dry, then my tear ducts will not be dry.
No, no one should know. I'll be like the attack of the 7 realms. Or some shit
it'll be like the Doctor and the Ranzar of Kolos, Raxacolophic Palpatorius and the Hoax or something.
Feet in the Master.
Yeah.
I keep because I actually am very keen to see it, and I think that like I'm looking forward to coming in and reviewing a new episode with you. And
that's always fun.
It strikes a conversation, and I think we should definitely get a little bit of a tease towards the 60th, which will also give us more more stuff to talk about.
Well,
and
now that we know it's 3 episodes, we know that they're probably going to be 3 specials spaced throughout the year. So
like this year.
It's probably not going to be like, no, they're not going to put a trailer out 13 months before the 60th.
It could be Easter.
It could be fucking New Year's Day for all we know. Like it could be anywhere from 3 to like 12 months from coming out. So, but hopefully it's more on the 3, and we'll see it. 3 to 6 months, I reckon, is when that first special will come out.
It could be. It could be on New Year's. Like,
could be.
I doubt it, but it could be.
It could be.
That's exciting, though.
It is exciting. Doctor New Year.
Ooh, Doctor New Year.
Ooh.
Gonna be good.
All right, what we're going to do now is we're going to address the elephant in the room very briefly, so as not to alienate a million people. Like a million people listen to this. But you know, me and Connor have been chatting a bit of footy every now and then. We're almost done with the footy talk. Footy season's nearly done, so don't worry. But just a very brief update because we're very hyped and we're clad in purple for the Purple Army, for the Purple Haze. Freo, a couple of weeks ago, made it to finals, and they're still in there. They're still fighting. 2 rounds, then the grand final left of finals, which is very exciting. This song, by the way, is Tame Impala.
That's right, because he's a Freo fan, isn't he?
He wears Freo shirts at all his concerts and stuff like that.
That's correct.
Should be cool. How wild was that game on the weekend? We'll keep this I'm sure everyone's like, they're talking about sport. This is Doctor Who. I'm just going to pause the podcast for a second here. This is Aidan in the future, editing away. I'm going to skip a big part of this footy talk. 1, because we're going for a while, and 2, because Freo have just been knocked out of the finals. Wow, what a shame. Big sadness. I am gutted. But hey, we're going to move on with things. We're going to move on with our lives. But I'm going to leave a little bit of the chatter in because it was a very exciting time. I love that team. And it was cool to see Purple represented on the big stage. So yeah, back to the show. And I'm sorry for peaking audio once again. I will hopefully get it right next week. I don't know what's going on at the moment. This is madness. Okay, thanks. Bye. I'm sorry that I just rambled about AFL for a mo.
No, it's fine. I'm glad you went. I only watched half, maybe not even half, maybe like a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really watch this shit, but you know, Freo is like our home team.
It's a Perth team, man.
It's a Perth team, so
it's great seeing Perth, like just everything getting invested in it. Like everything's got purple lights on it at the moment.
Yeah.
Shop stores have like Freo on the walls. It's rare for a Perth team to get into finals because
very rare.
We have to fly 5 hours to go to every second game. You know, it's not like the UK. You just go on a bus for a few hours and stuff. These guys have to fly for 5 hours there and back for a game like that. That's a toll.
The more popular Perth team won in 2017.
Yeah, 2018.
2018. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. I remember that happening. I think they won by 1 point as well.
Yeah,
it was pretty nuts.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
So wow. They're the more popular team, which is why I supported Freo because I like the
Freo's the misfits as well.
Yeah.
But also Freo, they're huge now. Like the last 3 years, they've gone from 20,000 club members to 55,000 club members.
Yeah, shit.
Like they are like huge at the moment.
Wow. To be fair, I saw on the Freo Dockers Instagram page that there were people in a pub in London watching it.
My favorite thing.
What the fuck?
My favorite thing to see like on Twitter, and I'm sorry that my Twitter feed at the moment is me just like liking Freo posts constantly.
That's all right.
But my favorite thing is like Americans and like people from other countries reacting to it, and it is the funniest shit because they're all like, "This is incredible!" Like because it's a banana sport. Like the rules are topsy turvy. You know, it's I think one of the most athletic team based sports because like just the amount of shit that you have to be a great sprinter, great long distance. You got to be great at kicking a ball that's a weird shape. You've got to be great at catching the ball. Your tackle it's such a physical sport, and it's bananas for people that don't know how it works to watch.
Yeah.
That like I saw one guy and he was like, they start the game by ditching the ball at the middle of the pitch.
Yeah.
Like they literally just onto the pitch. That's how it starts. It's crazy sport. Should we move on from footy?
I saw KSR react to it a few years ago as well. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's pretty nuts. Yeah. It's kind of just like an Australian sport, but I think it's getting a bit popular overseas.
Yeah. Disney Plus has a TV show.
I saw that.
About the women's AFL.
Yeah. The AFLW.
So I think they're slowly starting to like try and pitch it elsewhere, which I think is great.
People do watch it overseas. I just don't think it's like that big yet, but it very well could be.
Yeah.
In, say, a decade or so. Maybe everyone will be watching it.
It's just such like it's an unpredictable sport. I think that's what I really like about it. Like we can be winning and unretrievably we're like first quarter we were down so much that it's like there's no way they're winning this game.
Yeah.
But within the next 3 quarters, come out on top by a couple of goals. Yeah, that's what I love about it. The unpredictability of it. The ball is such a weird shape that it can bounce. Most of the time it's probably going to bounce a rough way, but like 1 in every 4 times it'll bounce just a random way because the shape is like this like oval weird shape. It's all a lot of fun. Should we talk about Doctor Who because I think everyone's just dropped out of the episode.
Why I'm here.
But I do recommend, just for a laugh, watching like a game or like 10 minutes of AFL, because you'll be like, what the fuck is going on?
Watch the Dockers game.
Watch it. Yeah. Dockers Collingwood. Let's go, boys. This is our representation of Perth. That's why we're doing this. Let's talk about what we're all here for. If you're still here.
The main event.
The main event. Sleep no more.
Yep.
More like sleep your way through 45 minutes of TV.
This bitch made me fall asleep.
You know when you read a book and you're reading it and you're aware that you're reading the book and you finish a page and you're like,
wait,
what did I just read?
What I just read? Yeah.
Like I literally every scene in this episode I watched and I was like, sorry, what did they talk about? Like it was so unengaging is the main flaw for this episode for me.
Yeah, I remember when they announced they were doing a fan footage episode. I was kind of down, and then I remember I spoke to you about it, and you didn't really seem too keen about it.
No, I was not keen.
I remember you not being keen. I was like, why, man? This is going to be sick.
Yeah.
And I was like, Mark's writing it, and Mark, again, could be hit and miss, but maybe he could deliver a good script.
Maybe.
And look, I want to start with a positive.
Yes.
Okay? Because I'm not going to be very positive.
Yeah, I don't have many positives at all.
I respect them trying to do something different.
100%.
I think it's cool they tried something different. I even think it's cool is this the first time ever they didn't do an intro?
I think it was. I think it was like a big thing when they said they weren't doing one because they've never done that before. Yeah.
And it's actually kind of cool in the credits, but it says the episode name and like written by Mark Gatiss and stuff. And
at the end credits.
In the end credits, yeah. I respect that. I think the whole found footage aspect is obviously a very like, you know, used trope. But I was like, they could do something cool with it.
It came like 10 years too late.
100%. 100%.
Like, should have been around the paranormal trend, activity time, you know, like
the
2008.
trend had kind of passed.
Yeah.
And I think there were, from time to time, a few shots in there. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool and kind of inventive. And I think that's kind of it, actually. I don't think I've got anything else to say about it. It's good.
All right, I'll do my positives then.
Okay, go on.
I thought that the CGI... Okay, look, 97% of the CGI, shit. 3% of the CGI, when the Dust Boys were dusting away, not when the person was dusting away at the end, but when the Dust Boys were dusting away, I thought that looked really good, actually. And it's very dimly lit, so... I say it's easy to do. I could not do anything like this.
It's easier.
But it's, you know, notorious things. CGI looks better in dark places because it's not lit as much and you can't see the clunkiness of it all. But it's... Yeah, I thought 3% of the CGI in this episode was really good. The only other positive that I have...
say, please don't say, and that's it.
No, the only other positive I have, which is also a negative... The positive... No, so it's a negative because, like you said to me over Messenger, the sets are... A lot of them look like reused from Under the Lake and Full of Flood. You know, one of the big sets is a warehouse. I hate that set. But the way that they lit these small corridors, and they were very dark, and it was the like the emergency, the backup power lighting or whatever, I thought was spooky. And I thought, given a good episode, you know, where it wasn't a found footage episode, you know, with some good directing, I think that these sets could have been spooky. I'll never forget going to the Doctor Who experience as a kid, and there's this corridor that you walk down, and there's like a Dalek at the end of it, and you're on a Dalek saucer, I think, but it's not they don't have the same design as from the show. It's like a dark Dalek saucer. And I just remember like being like, this is a spooky aesthetic, right? And it made the Daleks feel intense and intimidating. And that's a very similar aesthetic to what they had for like the corridors in this show. And I just hope that we maybe get to see something like that again, because it wasn't scary in this, because the found footage just wasn't... I just don't think this was the right choice of an episode, or because like without this episode being found footage, the episode itself doesn't work. So I just think that this shouldn't have been a thing. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. I agree, by the way, about the sets as well. I think, it's kind of hard watching it because you're like, oh, I kind of feel like maybe this could have worked. And it's like, and something doesn't here. They have these really terrible zooms in on characters, and it like pauses on a frame of their face, and then it goes like a Terminator type thing, where it's like listing their name and their age and their rank. And and like their abilities, and I was like, this looks so fucking cheesy.
It does. It looks really cheap as well.
Cheap as fuck. Yeah,
chips.
This would have been so cheap to make.
Yeah,
as well,
mate. I could have funded this.
I'm sure the BBC were like,
I definitely couldn't have. But
let's go. This is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most expensive thing was licensing Sandman.
Probably, actually. It probably was. It probably was. They're like, yeah, we have a few extra bucks this week. And I get near the end of seasons, you get episodes like this because they like to say they're good budget for the end of the...
Yeah, the larger to say for the finale.
End of the season.
Yeah.
But look at Midnight. What's the excuse?
Yeah.
Look at Midnight, for fuck's sake. Like, come on.
What did you think of the found footage element then?
I think it got tiresome real quick.
Yeah, I agree. As in like the first shot?
Well, I mean, look, sure.
That's how I feel.
Look, sure. I don't want to shit on the director because I feel like, he probably thought this was what a fucking great episode to work on. Like, this is gonna be so different to every other episode.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, and I do think that, like, I actually do think there were some shots that were quite cool and quite inventive. But I've never really been a fan of found footage stuff. Like, I've never watched Blair Witch Project and shit. It's pretty good.
It's good, but it's good because it's the original and it's something different. It's not trying to be
something.
It's not trying to be the Blair Witch Project. It just is the Blair Witch Project. You know?
Yeah.
Did
you like
the first person?
Yeah.
No, not at all.
You don't like the little sleep in your eye?
The little sleep in my eye. I kept finding myself like itching my eyes. Like, do I sleep?
That is kind of cool. To be fair, I think everyone does check.
Yeah. I thought like one of the reasons it really doesn't work is because it doesn't look like a found footage episode. Like, it's clearly shot like studio cameras, and they're all really wide lenses that just don't look like that aesthetically nice in these sorts of environments. And
that's right, yeah.
I just thought it was I'm gonna be really blunt. I thought it was a terrible decision. I didn't see a single second of direction that I thought was promising in this episode. And the writing I thought was genuinely, and I don't want to be a prick because so much love and passion goes into this stuff, and we know that, but we are here to be critical. That's what we're doing. I think the writing was laughable. Like, there's lines that were said, and I was like, literally like kind of chuckling. I felt like I was watching The Bloody Room, mate. And there's a line at the end where Capaldi goes, his last line in the episode is, "I don't know what's going on," and I literally went, "I feel you, brother."
Bro, I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's happening.
It kind of does end with like
plot twist that doesn't make. I don't know if it makes sense.
I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And by the way, I know I don't give a fuck enough when I don't care to even try and figure out, because I didn't care. I remember, I think I've watched this episode 1.5 times before. I say half because I didn't get through it the second time I went to watch it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's probably the second time I've ever fully watched it. I remember watching it the first time being like, I know they're promising us these next 3 epic episodes.
Yeah.
And it'd been strongly hinted that it was like one continuous story, and I was way too invested in that to care about this.
Yeah. I don't remember this episode much at all when you go back and think about it. And like you said, like, there was stuff that you didn't understand it, and you're like, I'm not even going to try to understand it. There were scenes where they were explaining the sleep pods the first time they go to them. It's about a 5-minute scene, and I finished it, and it was, like I said, like I'd watched it, had no idea what they've been talking about, and I went, I could go rewind, but I'm not going to, because I just don't care. And maybe that's an odds for not being invested, but it didn't try and invest you. It didn't have like a hook or anything. And another thing that's so bad about the writing is it's real cheap writing. Like, you've got this guy spelling out the story to you to camera, like beat by beat.
It's the oldest trick in the book.
But it's not even just like a few lines. He really spells out every single thing that's going on. And he's like, "Oh, I bet you thought I was dead," or something. Or he's like,
"Guess what? I'm not."
Yeah. And I don't know. It's just really poor writing. And there's a line when Pete goes, the sleep is the little cameras, like when he starts to figure this out. And I could just feel in Pete's performance, and I'm sure, like, Pete's a great guy, so I'm sure that he didn't feel this way and he had full faith in Mark and stuff like that. But it really did feel like I was looking into his eyes and I was like, you hate this now.
I could kind of tell that Jenna and Jenna and Peter, I think, were both.
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe. We never know. Like, it's easy for us to say that.
But also, I do feel like, you know how we were saying how Moff hopped on a lot of scripts? I feel like because Mark and Moff are good mates, I feel like maybe Moff felt like it was too rude to maybe like, hey man, do you mind if I
don't think it's too rude.
Try and help you out a little bit here and you
Yeah.
know, maybe
I don't know.
start it from the top.
Maybe we'll just get a new
And
concept
Just
and
do it all over again.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, there's always going to be behind the scenes stuff on shows that you'll never know and find
100%, yeah.
And we can only speculate, but I feel like they didn't really give a fuck, and you know,
It just didn't work. Nothing in this episode I think worked. I don't think the supporting cast was
the characters sucked.
very good. No,
They
yeah.
sucked. They were terrible. They were really bad. I didn't care about any of them. I can't remember any. I remember the grunt, which made me
Grunt.
laugh. It's so cringe, man.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm 6 years old technically, and it's like, yeah,
And they say words and they're like,
doesn't really speak
Talk.
English. Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
you know that angry
must
person?
run away.
Do you think the angry person looked a lot like Sacha Dhawan?
Yes,
Like,
I
he obviously
did.
had like the skin complexion.
I did.
He
And,
also
like,
had
the beard.
the little bit of facial hair,
Yeah.
the same like shaped
Sacha
skull.
Dhawan off Wish. Yeah, he sucked. You know what's funny?
Oh,
You
man.
you
That was harsh.
mentioned. Huh?
That was harsh, but I respect it.
I'm sure he's doing great things for his
Yeah,
career.
sure.
I mean, I don't know, but who knows? He was in this. You know, it's funny how you were like, that guy was narrating the whole episode. There's nothing wrong with narration if it's done right, but I feel like it was just so cheap. And
Oh, dude, it's such a cheap technique.
it's funny because like a guy died, and like the crew where like Pete and Jenna were, like the doctor and stuff, they were all on like a different side of the ship, and like the guy died, and like it just cuts to the narration. The guy doing narration is like, we all heard his screams, but we're busy dealing with our own stuff, and it just cuts back to a sound. Like, it feels like it just cuts to that scene. I'm like, hang on a minute, you didn't hear the screams, you fucking liars.
So
I know what you've done here.
It's like maybe they've filmed it and they've gone to edit and they're like, oh, no one reacts to the to the guy dying.
I notice it. I notice it sometimes in. I've been watching a lot of The Simpsons recently, like old seasons, and I notice and it's easy for a cartoon to do because it's all cartoon, but I notice sometimes when a character talks in their head, I'm like, maybe they didn't animate something, or they needed to add something to the script to make it a bit more clear.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, the animators obviously didn't have that, so they haven't made them talk. They do it in their head. It's a good way to do it, to like add more dialogue that makes more sense. And like the dialogue they normally say is quite like direct, and it's more like telling you what they're gonna do or what they should do, or what they're thinking. And I was like, I kind of got that vibe from this when I heard that, and I was like, yeah, that's a bit cheap, innit?
Yeah.
And it's funny, this episode, like, no one ever talks about it, and if everyone ever does bring it up or talk about it, no one really has anything good to say about it.
I don't think
It's so
anyone wants to
forgettable.
talk about it.
It's just forgettable as hell.
I think I literally have one more thing that I want to say. It kind of like reinstates a lot of the stuff that I've already said, but like just like visually, because that's the ultimate flaw for this episode. Visually, I think you end up with obviously shots that just don't look that nice because they are like wide first person shots and they're not framed properly because they're just like, oh, this is what this person's looking at. So you're looking at a shot which is on a good camera, but it's framed terribly. So you're like, it doesn't look nice. And then, you know, same when they've got like the like camera on the wall shots, which they don't. It's sleep on the
Dust.
sleep puss on the wall,
dude, literally. Sleep.
and all those shots look terrible because it's like they framed it to be like, oh, we want to frame it like it's an actual security camera. They're not always going to be in the perfect part of the shot for it to look nice. And it's like, no, like give us an engaging shot for us to engage with, and then like work backwards from there. And then the other thing on that is like they're constantly using these like glitchy transitions like between almost every single shot. And it doesn't look great. You know Peep Show, which is a first person comedy, UK comedy. You guys probably all heard of it, watched it. And it does get tiresome, the first person, this and that, but it does have a funny nature to it. And a lot of it is like, because the people interacting, you're going from like, if me and Connor were doing the podcast, it will cut from like Connor's eyes to my eyes, Connor's eyes to my eyes. And this episode, I don't think really utilized that first person technique because like 75%, if not more, of the conversations, you were in the eyes of someone that wasn't talking in the conversation. So you're like watching Pete talk to Clara and you're just like the grunt, right? And so you're not engaged because you're just looking at like the backs of people's heads and things like that. Like it. This is a miserable episode. I don't even let you keep talking about it if you like. That's me done. That's my last comment.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, I don't blame you. I'm glad we had other stuff to talk about because
like Frio
and directors and the Centenary not being advertised.
We're not going back there.
And I don't know. I just think that it's a shame, and I feel like they literally hyped it up so much when they first announced it. I remember Moffat being like, I can't believe. He had a quote saying, I can't believe I haven't thought about an idea like this before. And I was like, maybe there's a good reason. There's a good reason. And I just don't think it worked. Mm-hmm. It must also go down as an episode in history where they don't show the TARDIS. I think there's very few episodes with that as well. Like the inside, the interior. Yeah,
they don't show the interior. I think that happens pretty frequently.
Does it?
Yeah, I reckon there's easily like 1 or 2 episodes a season that doesn't show the interior. I reckon.
Really?
Yeah, I reckon.
I don't think so.
I reckon. I could be wrong, but I reckon.
It normally does.
I reckon there's like 1 episode a season.
Per season?
Yeah, that doesn't.
Maybe.
We're not going to go through it right now, but that's our homework. But even then, you know, like there's a bunch of classic Who when the Doctor doesn't time travel.
Yeah, classic
Who. He doesn't use
but
the TARDIS
I think
that much.
New Who is pretty rare.
Yeah, definitely rarer. But I think I don't know. I still reckon there's 1 episode every season that he doesn't use it. That is not inside of it.
I don't think so.
I could totally be wrong about that.
I don't think so. I think it's pretty rare.
I got a hunch.
I think it's rare because I'm like rapping then. I remember when we reviewed Midnight. Fuck, I can't talk today.
Right, and there was no.
And there was a thing at the end. It's like this is like one of the rare episodes where it doesn't show the interior.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
If you could be bothered to look up any facts.
Yeah, which we used to do.
I don't think you're going to do it.
We've stopped.
You don't fucking care about this episode anymore, so...
I actually have one more thing to say, and it's not a criticism, because I just want to say I do really respect the love and passion, and I'm glad that the episode exists, because, you know, it's another part of Doctor Who, and you need the ones that aren't as great to embrace the great ones and stuff, right? Yep. I do respect and appreciate what everyone's put into these episodes. I didn't like anything in this episode, except... other than the 2 tiny things I said, except there's a shot, right? And it's like one of the grunts or something is like walking down out of the lab, I think, and they look down and there's like little plants in pots and under blue light, and then they like look back and they just keep going. I don't think these plants are explained. Maybe they're to do with the plot at some point because I really don't know what the plot was.
Right.
But my theory is that. So everyone that's on this base, other than the bad guy, have all just arrived, right? Onto the space station.
Yeah.
My theory is like, these grunts and stuff, they've come onto the space station, they've found these plants, and they're like, is this the dank kush? Is this the dank kush? And then they light up, right? And so they light up, they're on the dank kush, and then they're walking around, and then they bump into Pete and Clara, who have done the same thing.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, they're like... there's a monster over there, and all of this is like a trip.
Okay.
Like they're tripping. Some hardcore drugs. Space drugs.
And that's why Pete said it doesn't make sense.
That's why, yeah. Pete's going and he's off. He's on his way to the come down.
Wait, so this is the thing you like about it? Is that a thing you made up?
This is my theory. Everyone's high in Sleep No More. That's my theory. Sleep No More because you're high.
Yeah. Okay.
You respect it?
Yeah.
I thought you'd like that theory more than you do.
I mean, like...
I thought you'd laugh.
I did laugh.
You were like, pity laugh.
I didn't pity laugh. I'm saying, like, I was going to say, that shit would have been better than what we got. That would have been a lot better than what we got. Because, yeah, Mark's second to last script ever. Yeah. It's shit. It's really bad. And there could be multiple reasons why it just didn't work out. Like Aidan said, you got to respect the art. And the artist. The art.
It's definitely art.
And the artist.
Am I the artist? Because I basically wrote this with the weed jokes. With
the bongs no more.
Bong no more. Hit no more.
There was just a bong in the ship and they're like, hey, why not? Hey, we're at work, but who cares? It's just
Let's light up.
It's 420 somewhere. I never got why it's called 420.
Yeah, neither do I. It plays it. We're not endorsing drugs on this show.
Yeah, for a second.
Folks. We're not. Well, I'm just saying. I'm like, should we be talking about drugs?
You're the one who literally a couple weeks ago kept saying that you kept making cocaine jokes.
I did, and then I cut a lot of them out of the episode.
Did you cut it? You cut.
There's like one.
There's like two in the
There's two
episode.
mentions, but we actually have like a big joke about it that I cut out because we just like
Really, I remember.
We didn't take it too far as in it's offensive, but just like I am aware that this is still a Doctor Who show, and I know we are the MA15 plus Doctor Who podcast, right?
That's the Torchwood.
That's our plan.
The Torchwood spin-off almost.
And I'm like, but maybe we don't need to talk about cocaine for 10 minutes. Not that we did. It was me. It was 100% me. And I brought up the weed joke here, but yeah.
I wonder if kids actually do watch this though. I mean, I'm not your parents, so I can't sue you for watching this.
Yeah, people are like hearing us talk about the Doctor doing weed, and they're like, "I'm gonna do weed. I want to see them sleep no more creatures."
Yeah, if you live in Amsterdam or LA, where weed is legal,
where it's legal, go for your life.
Do it, but do not go behind wheels of cars.
Yes, is that where they do drug deals?
Heavy machinery.
Is that?
No, I'm saying don't smoke
whilst
weed
you do it, right? Okay.
Yeah, don't drive. I feel like people do drive whilst high on weed.
Do they? They probably. I don't think they should.
No, they shouldn't. That's what I'm saying. Like, but I think people.
Sounds like a bad idea.
You know, in the rehearsal, that guy hits the bong and he hops in the car, and Nathan's like, "Should you be driving?"
So people do it illegally. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it could be legal,
or maybe it is legal.
Illegal wherever you are. But I'm saying you still shouldn't hop into a car. But I'm saying I don't know. I think it's quite. I think it's less frowned upon than being drunk.
Interesting.
And I don't know why.
I suppose I don't know. I'm not a drug expert, but I suppose when you're drunk, you're like driving and you're like, hey! And when you're high, you're like super concentrating, right? And you're like, I need to get to Macca's. I need that feed. That's my theory. I'm here like we shouldn't talk about drugs for 5 minutes.
Yeah, here we are. If you're in Amsterdam or LA, they must be legal in some other places. Then I think it's legal in one of our states.
Yeah, there's some catch going on. Do you see this shit that
disgusting
Harry Styles might have spat on Chris Pine?
I did see that.
What do you reckon he spat on Chris Pine? This is so off topic for the week conversation, but
I think he did.
You reckon?
I think he did.
Do you reckon it was like banter, or do you reckon it was like?
I don't know, because I saw a video.
Fuck you, Chris Pine. Where's Star Trek 4?
Yeah, where is Star Trek 4?
Give me Star Trek 4.
I don't know, because I saw a clip of them afterwards, kind of like laughing about something, like just talking like this.
You spat on me.
It could very much be something like, you fucking piece of shit. But like, I respect him for keeping his cool, because I definitely wouldn't have. Yeah. But also, like, he is in front of the media, and they would have spun it out. And, you know, you don't fuck with Harry Styles fans. They're crazy. My girlfriend's one of them. I'm going to go see him. I got her tickets. And, like, those, like, One Direction boys, like, they have devoted fans. And that's what kind of bugs me, because I feel like he did do it. And there's so many, like, of his fans defending him, saying he didn't. I'm like, you know, you can admit he fucked up. Like, come on. Like, it's hard to see your hero do something shit. I think it's a terrible thing to do. It's a horrible thing to do. You spit on someone. What are we, fucking cavemen still?
Do you think?
Terrible.
Do you think? Maybe this is mean to say. Do you think Chris Pine is anyone's hero? Because he's like, I feel like he's a celebrity that's like, everyone's like, oh yeah, Chris Pine, but no one's like, I love Chris Pine.
Whenever I see him in a film, I'm happy to see him. But yeah, I get what you mean. I've never been like, I'll go see this film because Chris Pine.
Let's go to the new Chris Pine film. You know.
Yeah, I think he was good in the Wonder Woman movies. I think he was a much needed
man in a female-led movie.
No,
that's a joke.
That sounded like I was gonna say that. Yeah, no, he's like a much needed comedy relief.
Yeah, right.
Fuck, that sounds worse than I was intending it to. But yeah, I know what you mean. I did feel sorry for him. That drama behind that movie is insane.
Crazy, Florence Pugh.
That was Jason Sudeikis' ex-wife who directed the movie, and then they broke up because she hooked up with Harry on the film. So that's why.
Wait, so they broke up because of that film? Is this like why Ted Lasso exists? Because Ted Lasso's going through a divorce?
Isn't it crazy? It's pretty. I don't think that's what's inspired it, but I think that's what made it quite real for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then Florence Pugh.
Did you say Pugh?
Florence Pugh.
Florence Pugh. Florence Pugh.
Pew.
Pew 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 pew.
Yeah, Florence has beef with them because she saw it happen, knew about it, and then Jason would rock up on set with like their kids. Olivia Wilde, that's her name.
And then Florence like flew over to be on Ted Lasso. Have you seen?
Is she in it?
She didn't make it into the episode. It got cut. But she was like an extra on the set. I think it would have been the episode that Zach directed. Zach Braff, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's pretty wild. It's actually pretty crazy. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know, Kim wants to go see it, and I'm like, after all this shit, I can't support that kind of nonsense.
It's annoying, because I actually watched the trailer, and I was like, oh, it looks alright. Like, it just looks like something not necessarily different, but it's not a Marvel movie. And whenever I see a trailer of something that's not there...
Have you gone to see the More Fun Stuff edition?
I will not be going to see the More Fun. I've officially tapped out of Marvel because I'm sick of like watching it and complaining about it.
Me too.
It's like I'm just gonna not watch it. It's just
honestly
healthier, and it's like a lot of reasons.
They added Love and Thunder to Disney today.
They did. Mm-hmm. We endorse you going to the movies. Speaking of people who like the movies,
110%, baby.
People who like the movies, Tom Cruise. Do you see that clip of him on a plane? The stunt.
Is it recent?
Yeah, like,
that's a lot of
true. Came out like yesterday or the day before, and it's like I think it was before Comic-Con or like a recent, like in the last 2 days there was some like Comic-Con-esque thing, and they did a teaser reveal for Mission Impossible 7, and he opens it with like Tom Cruise talking to the camera, and it's like a close up of him, and then it pulls out, and the guy's just stood on like a biplane, like a propeller plane, like in flight. He's just like stood on it, and he's talking about it and stuff, and it like just keeps pulling out, and this thing is just in flight, and then another plane comes up next to him, and he starts talking to the guy in that plane.
What the fuck?
And then he ends it, and he goes, "Yeah, see you at the movies." And then the planes literally flip upside down with Tom Cruise still stood up on the top of this plane, holding on with one arm. I'm sure there's a harness on, But like, either way, risky as fuck. These planes flip upside down and like go into like a bit of a semi nosedive kind of thing. It's like, it's insane.
He's the movie star, man.
Motherfucker keeps it cool as well. Like this thing is flipping and he does not move a muscle.
Nah. He actually, he's a hell of a fucking star. And I love those Mission Impossible movies, man.
The last movie star, Tom Cruise.
Pretty much. Why do I keep saying that? Do you think it's true?
Yeah, maybe. I think it gets hard because
what about Chris Pratt and Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans? What about them? They're sorry.
Chris Pratt.
I sound like...
What happened to Chris Pratt?
He's a bit of a prat, isn't he? I don't know.
I think he's a nice guy. He's just really uninteresting in his movies at the moment.
He is. He's actually like... seriously, like comedically very talented.
Yeah.
Like I watched Parks and Rec, fucking love that show, and he like the amount of improv he does in that show, which is like insanely hilarious. Like it proves he has like so much talent, like so quick, and so funny and witty and smart, and Now he's just doing all these awful like Amazon Prime movies and like everything that Kevin Feige shits out into a fucking dunny and then wipes his ass on a script and goes, all right, next one.
Yeah.
Do you see She-Hulk twerking? That's the one when we finished filming last week. I sent you just She-Hulk twerking. This is just cringe. Like, what are they doing? This cringe. Sucks. They can't see it ending well doing stuff like this.
Yeah. Well, people watch it enough, so it's fine. It's fine.
But it's getting worse.
Probably, yeah.
The ratings have been going down massively. I know on Disney Plus for all the Marvel shows.
Well, it's because they make like 1 million of them a year. Like,
it's not fun anymore. Like,
it's not.
I remember when we used to have to like wait. Like, we got like 2 a year, and that was pretty insane.
You know what I miss?
But hey,
you know what I miss in the MCU is
good movies.
And I know they do this, but sequels. Sequels every 2 or 3 years. Mm-hmm. Now it's like, what Doctor Strange was that like 2015? Or something, or 2016?
That was 20...
I think it was 16. I think it was 2016.
I think it was 2017.
Yeah, okay. That actually sounds right.
I think we just finished school.
But there's like 5 years between that one and that one. And I know he's in the fucking Avengers ones in the middle and stuff,
actually,
but like...
Aidan, he's in Thor Ragnarok. He's in Infinity War. He's in Endgame. Oh, he's in Far From Home.
Ooh. But it's like... I miss when you had movies like 3 years apart, right? Now it's like... There's 1 million characters, and they're putting out so many that I'm like, I don't know what's going on anymore. And I can't be bothered. It takes time away from me watching other stuff. That's the main thing with like the TV shows. I'm like, I'll be like, okay, now I've got to watch these 6 episodes, and then I'll finish them. And I'll be like, okay, I'll watch an episode of Barry. And then by the time I've watched an episode of Barry, they're like, here's another 6 episodes of another Marvel show. Like,
what, so you're saying you're not a fan of She-Hulk Attorney at Law?
I don't have an opinion. I've not seen it, but what I have seen, I don't like.
It's funny how it started the week Better Call Saul ended.
Yeah, like, here's your next masterpiece.
Well, I mean, just like, it's a lawyer show. Like,
interesting.
It's like if you're missing that love of a lawyer show, well then here you go.
Some people compared it to Fleabag, which I really love. I think that's a great show.
Controversially, not a fan of Fleabag.
I really love it. I think it's amazing.
Everyone hates me for saying that.
Well, you can have an opinion.
Everyone hates me for saying everything.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's you. It's a funny show, I think Fleabag is. And then I'm watching She-Hulk and I'm like, this ain't Fleabag, man. Fleabag is not twerking.
Well, it's meant to be that kind of like, single woman in the city, like a Sex in the City type vibe. It's meant to be. Yeah,
definitely Fleabag.
Yeah, it's meant to be a bit more edgier. There's a Captain America virgin joke, which I saw on Twitter.
Very edgy. Fleabag starts with her being like...
I've seen it.
Yeah, but she is like having sex. And I think it's...
Anal,
isn't it? Anal, yeah.
Anal, yeah.
Yeah, that's how Fleabag starts, so...
Yeah, he like...
I don't think She-Hulk's...
He pulls it out and he's like, let me try this, and she doesn't stop him. Yeah, is that how
She-Hulk starts?
Is that how she first turns into the She-Hulk? Hey, give me that green pussy right now. Let's see if that makes the cut. Fuck you, Aidan.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, it will.
Was that line in the show?
Was
that line in the show?
Was that line in She-Hulk?
Yeah, She-Hulk.
Yeah, that's how it started. That's why it's like Fleabag.
Yeah, great.
Give me that green puss.
Do you know apparently your favourite radio host, Howard Stern's meant to be in Doctor Doom?
I don't know.
I think that's pretty cool.
I don't know who Howard Stern is. I don't know who Doctor Doom is.
Well, Doctor Doom's like the famous Fantastic Four villain.
Yeah, okay.
Apparently, look, I think the rumor is people are saying he's going to play Doctor Doom, which I don't think is true. I think he's just going to be in the movie, which I think is pretty funny.
Interesting.
I'll go see it because of that. Now that I've got to see.
Interesting.
People keep saying it's a load of shit, but I think that they seem to be. I heard from Grace Ranoff that Marvel these days apparently are just putting people in their movies so that other properties can't grab them. Like DC
I can see that
stuff, and
maybe that's why they put John Krasinski in it, because he's obviously not going to be the actual Fantastic Four.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Don't you think? So yeah, that's not going to happen, is it?
I don't know, man. I don't make the rules.
Did you think he was good in it? Or do you think he was pretty shit? I thought he was pretty shit.
Yeah, I just remembered seeing his face. I don't remember anything that he did. Oh, other than when he went like, he got torn apart like a cheese stick. You know them old like cheese things you peel each cheese thing off? That's what he looked like.
Those were my shit back in the day.
That was your cheese?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good. It's good cheese. I think I only had a couple, but I liked them.
Yeah, like Baby Bells and stuff.
I think my nana gave me one when I was
it was a classic
young.
British cuisine. Yeah. Baby Bells and those pulley cheese.
Have a bit of pulley cheese. String cheese. No, that's not... No, string cheese is like out of a can, right?
String cheese?
Is that like... It's like a can that squirts cheese? That's weird. That should not be a thing if it is.
Oh, yeah, there is that American...
I think that's string cheese, isn't it?
Yeah, that's kind of gross, hey? They had that kind of like... That
cheese in a can?
That like orange... That orange like fucking cheese that... Yeah, that shit is disgusting. I couldn't imagine trying that.
No, this is what we like. We like the... Okay, so that's string cheese.
Yeah, that's what I used to eat in the UK all the time. That shit used to be in my lunchbox all the time.
Can?
Before I got my weird lunchbox phobia of germs.
Easy cheese is canned cheese. That's weird.
That can't be good for you.
Yeah, don't touch that shit. If you're fancying cheese, don't get canned cheese. That just doesn't...
just squirting that on some bread and like...
Oh, maybe that's how She-Hulk starts. Squirting the
they probably do have
the easy cheese.
Like, you know, innuendos and stuff.
Oh, like little
like in Streetcar Named Desire, they showed like one of those water posts exploding.
Yeah, right. For a climax. For a character's climax.
I remember being like, Miss, what is that? What does that mean? She was like, I wasn't even joking. She was like, it's showing the orgasm. And I was like, oh shit.
In She-Hulk, it's like, she just goes, as a Hulk. And that's how they show it.
It's Hulk.
I hope you enjoyed that peaking mic. I'm guessing that just happened.
It wouldn't be a show if our mics didn't peak.
Yeah, especially mine. I'm sorry. Yeah, I actually got to say, last week my mic was extremely peaky. So I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to
something worse than audio fucking up and you can't record it again. You're like...
Yeah, I don't want to sit down for an hour and talk to Connor again. Sleep no more. Connor, sleep no more. That's what we came here. Somehow,
Slip
what a
no.
wild episode, right? We've gone through Doctor Who, but they're smoking weed.
Weed, yeah.
Kush,
Mary Jane.
We've done Freo, talking about
Devil's
Freo.
Lettuce, yeah.
We've talked about She-Hulk
Attorney at Law.
being starting with her having anal. And we're talking about sleep no more.
Seen it.
This is definitely an MA
15 plus.
an MA episode, right? Okay, Sleep No More. Connor, what would you rate it out of 10, my friend?
I'm probably gonna be kinder than you are. I'm gonna give it a 3.
Right.
I feel like you're gonna be a lot more.
I'm kind of
brutal.
like, yeah, I've not made my mind up yet. I think,
And when you do, can you tell me if this is your lowest rating? Because I feel like
Oh,
the
yeah,
lowest
okay.
you've given is a 3.
yeah, all right, 1.
What?
They made an episode. Good job. You get 1 point.
Wait, seriously, a 1?
Yeah, I'll give it a 1. They made an episode. Good job. You get 1 point. There's no,
One.
there's nothing good about this episode.
Wow. that
There's a
is-
reason
okay.
why we spent this episode talking about She-Hulk action.
anal.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, you don't have to check if that's the lowest you're given.
Oh, it definitely. I don't think I've
because
ever
that
given
is-
a 1. Right?
No, I think the lowest you given maybe is a 2.5 for Fear Her. So
Yeah. I just think everything in this episode is like I just didn't like. Even like usually in a bad episode you'll think like the Doctor will salvage it a bit, but I just think like
what's the 1.4 then?
they made an episode. Good job.
was
Like
the other things
good
you
job.
said?
You spent like 3 weeks of your life making this, and I
You said
appreciate
two
that
other
you did
things
it.
that were good, and that's what. The
Yeah, but they're
one's
so
for.
small that it's like it's not even worth it.
So did that count towards the 1?
Oh, maybe like a percent.
Cool.
The other
Wow.
the other 98% of
really-
it is that. Yeah, well done. You've made an episode of TV. You spent 3 hard weeks on it, and I appreciate that you did that. But creatively, nothing worked for me.
I don't think you're ever going to give it a rating that low again.
No, this is. I think. Yeah, I hated this, man.
So I think
Not lie.
it's just the lowest of the low for you for
Yeah.
Doctor Who.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
I actually do think that's the lowest you're ever going to give an episode.
yeah. I don't think. There'll be anything series 10 that I give to that, and 11 and 12. I don't think there's. I mean, I've not watched Orphan 55 in a while, but I never thought it was 1, and I never really thought
I
it
don't
was
think
as
it's
bad
a
as
1, yeah.
anyone said. Like, I don't think it's a great episode, but I never thought it's as bad as everyone said. And at least it's got Benny to keep you going through it. You know, Benny.
Oh, it's funny because like this episode isn't even like laughably bad. Like no one even
Yeah.
like mentions it.
It's just
You kind of
boring,
forget
man.
It exists until you get to it in like your series rewatch. Like
I don't know
no
if
one
I'll
really mentions it.
ever watch this episode again.
Yeah, like I said, I think I've watched it maybe the first time it aired, and then like half, and then that was it. So
I think this will be my 3rd time because I would have watched it when it aired, and then I always rewatch the Blu-ray when I buy the Blu-rays.
yeah,
And so I assume I watched it a second time. Don't know. I assume I just didn't like it again. And yeah, so Sleep No More, more like
Shit,
something
if
no
Rio
more.
win the
Some-
grand final, will you get a Sleep No More tattoo?
Sloppy No More. If they win the grand final,
Yeah, would you get a Sleep No More tattoo?
no.
And then tweet Mark Gannis in it, and he'd be like,
Got my favourite episode, Marky
"Wow,
Mark.
my
There's
episode
nothing-
did make someone."
There's nothing I hate more,
Think.
by the way, than people critiquing stuff or making like a satirical joke. Because I get like, it's funny to like critique stuff on Twitter and you can put like a funny twist on it that sometimes could be mean, but it's like, you know, that person's never going to read it and stuff like it. That stuff can just be funny. Obviously, as long as it's not,
don't tag
as long as it's not offensive, you know. But like, if you are critiquing, if you're doing a review for something, or you are like making a joke at someone's performance or something, don't tag the people. Like, it's so mean, you know. Have you
Really?
done that?
No.
Oh, you like itching? You would like turn your head and itch your head like.
No. I was thinking. I wonder when we'll get a tweet saying
50%. I had it on in my car with my 2-month-old.
that's not my
They
fault.
started talking about
weed and
Weed.
She-Hulk getting anal.
and now my kid's got a bomb.
yeah, but we're not your kids.
Mate, they've got
Guardians,
the illicit,
okay?
explicit
Yeah, it
explicit
does.
sign on the spotty.
Bro,
So,
like I've got. You're buying.
I pressed
you're
that not
buying the
made for kid
product.
box when I
Me
upload to
too.
YouTube.
and you actually have to.
Yeah.
You actually have to, otherwise you get in big trouble. Big trouble.
Big
sorry,
trouble.
sorry, YouTube, for not following your guidelines of
Ooh,
talking about anything that's not.
look at me, I'm
controversial.
YouTube.
And by anything not controversial, I mean pretty much everything.
I hate fun. Woo.
Are you Susan Wojcicki right now?
Huh?
Are you Susan Wojcicki right now?
Who's Susan Majiski?
She's like the CEO of YouTube. Is that how you say it, Wojcicki?
I'm Susan.
I actually, unpopular opinion, I actually think Susan gets a lot of shit. There's a lot more
Susan,
people.
as in the companion, or just rounding it back to Doctor Who for a moment there.
Yeah, great.
Next week. Okay, how confirmed is next week? Is locked and loaded?
Yeah, even though I made a boo-boo, I fixed it.
Okay, you fixed it?
It was my fault. I said to our guest, can you come on this date? But that's actually the date the episode would have aired. That's if we had filmed it.
Idiot.
And bless him, I messaged him and I was like...
I'll cut this part out.
I fucked up.
Yeah, right.
Can you do this date? And he was like, of course. I'm like, thank fuck. So yeah, we're fine.
So we're fine? So it's this Monday coming?
If you want to say it and jinx it, go ahead.
I'll say it.
No, you can say it. I'm just saying. If it doesn't happen, I'm blaming you.
Right.
Not my shitty planning.
Yeah. Next week, Connor has been working hard. He's been rubbing his crystal ball, wishing, praying to the Lord, going, "Ooh, we need a good guest for Face the Raven. You know, we want someone with some good opinions.
Yes,
someone who we like, someone who's cool member of the."
Sorry, I love this. I love
a named person.
When you say he/she's name, no, I feel really bad now. I love you. Can you say the name now so I can say the name?
Well, I'm just saying we've been like we want a cool member of the Doctor Who community to come on, give some thoughts. Crispy Pro is joining us on the show next week. Yo,
I love Crispy.
Yeah, we all love Crispy.
He's such a cool guy.
I think he's the most
lovely person.
unhateable person in the Doctor Who community. Honestly,
that's off.
And I'll say that to his face.
That's off.
I'll tell him.
No,
Crispy.
he is. He's so great. He's a lovely sport.
Yeah,
he's a really cool guy, and we've been chatting for a while. I think before this season even started filming, I said, we really want to get you to come on, and he did a little cameo for In the Forest of the Shite.
Yes.
Yeah. So we've got some really cool shit planned for the last 3 episodes of this season. And then I think we're going to do a little detour like we normally do, maybe review a classic episode. And are we doing Children of Earth?
Yeah, we'll do Class and Children of Earth.
And
so
Children of Earth.
Yeah, a bit of a segue between seasons. It's always nice to break things up.
When's that Colin box set out that you got coming?
The Colin box set?
Yeah.
I already got that. That's when we watched Attack of the Cybermen. Which I've got to say, I cannot get through that season. I'm so slowly chipping away at it, but I'm just not into it.
Yeah, no, you're right. Fuck. Yeah. No,
you're right. There's a William Hartnell box set coming out, season 2.
That's normally when we hit a classic episode.
Yeah, so there's no date for that yet. But when it does come out, when we do have a break between seasons, we will do a review from an episode or story from season 2.
Did you watch Josh's video on it?
I did. I thought they did a really good job at
really good, hey?
Articulating that, the big thing is it's a huge set. We can't expect these special features and stuff that we got on the other ones.
Yeah.
But it is also like, I can totally understand why they're underwhelmed by it.
It actually was a really good video. I highly suggest you watch it. But yeah, I didn't know that they did the the Star Wars like the special editions. I didn't know they did the updated CGI.
Yeah, but it's optional.
I know it's optional. Yeah, but I'm saying
and it genuinely works though
really
as
cool.
well.
So do you watch it with the?
Yeah, I tend to. Yeah.
Okay, that's really cool though. Mm-hmm. Is it as simple as like when you're watching the episode? Can you turn it on and off, or do you have to like cancel the episode and then go change it? I think
you have to cancel the episode.
Okay.
Yeah. I know. I think I'm going to struggle with this. 39 episodes. That's a lot of episodes. 2 of them are just pictures because the episodes are missing and they've not been animated. So it's just like telesnap reconstructions.
It's just the audio.
It's the audio with just like a couple of pictures. I don't know how it works. I feel like they've probably maybe done something a little bit fancier to them. Maybe they'll have a zoom in at some point. Maybe they'll add a handheld camera shake to one of the photos at some point. Who knows?
And is season 1 out at the moment?
No, this is the first classic. This is the first 60s Who box set. So
why start with season 2? Is season 1 just not
that's
really
what
available?
They do. They just pick and choose. I don't know the logic. No, there's. I'm gonna say there's no logic. Okay. There probably is. There probably is like this has got this many episodes. We can do this 14 episode season. Get that one out whilst in the background we're working on this 39 episode season. Like there's probably a lot of things like that go into it. But yeah, this is the first. So there's no Patrick Troughton set. I'm losing my tongue. There's no Patrick Troughton set out either. So this is
That'll be next.
Yeah, but I think this is like one of the only. This is like the most complete season of classic of 60s Who, whilst they were junking the episodes. And I'm like, now they're not doing the animations anymore. They did Abominable Snowman came out, and that's the last one.
That's true.
For now, and and now I'm like, I don't know, like getting these sets, it's gonna be weird with like missing stories in it. I'm sure they'll do reconstructions, but I'm like, I'm still gonna have to eventually, even when it's like 15 years time, they've got a new partner who's working on the animations. Then I'll buy those animations, and then I'm like, oh, but do I put them in the case, and do I put them where the reconstruction, where the pictures reconstruction one is, and put the, it's like when there was like a 25 years of Bond case, or 20 years,
that was
no,
really
50
cool
years
set.
of Bond.
That was a really cool set.
Yeah, and they left
a spot for
because Skyfall was just coming out, so they left
the Spectre spot.
They let Skyfall spot. Spectre wasn't the 50-year Bond movie. Skyfall was. And so
please forgive me, Bond fans.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Yeah, so they left a spot in the 50-year case for you to put Skyfall when you bought Skyfall.
But then what about the rest of the fucking films?
No, wait, it's fine.
Is it?
They'll do a no, I don't know.
What, in 100?
Yeah, then they'll do volume 2, and it's the movies from 51 to 100 years. So it's like, for this, it's like, I kind of want them to have like a spot in them for me to put in my in like 20 years time when they animate some more episodes. I can slot it into that collection set. I don't know.
Bro, at least your shit comes. My vinyl hasn't come.
Oh, you still haven't got your vinyl? That's sad.
It's sad.
I still haven't got. I really want to tell you what it is. It's so.
Yeah, you've been telling me about this for a while.
Yeah, something that I've had custom made. I can't wait to show you it when I get it.
Did we both get scammed?
No, I haven't. I've seen it. The person has sent me pictures of it.
Was it off Etsy?
No, but I'll tell you the story when I get it, because it's.
I'm keen to hear it.
Big story, huge.
I remember a couple of weeks ago you were like, I think it'll be here next week, and it's like been months.
Yeah, it's not been great.
Okay,
and I don't know if I will name the person / company / user that made it, because but no, they were great. I don't know. We'll see how I feel when it comes, what condition it's in when I get it.
Yeah,
just because if I do say something negative about it, bear in mind I ordered this thing in March.
What?
Yes,
March.
Yeah, it might have been April actually.
What the fuck?
But yeah, so there is some negatives definitely behind.
That's like, I got my vinyl in like April.
Yeah,
and like I ordered it, and they're like, "Oh, we actually don't have stock, but you can wait for it to come in." I'm like, "My brother in Christ, why the fuck did you put it up here to buy? Doesn't make sense."
You don't have any.
I can get a refund, but also I'm like, I really want it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, what if I cancel my order? This is for the season 1 and 2 OST soundtrack vinyl, by the way. Yeah. I'm like, what if I cancel it and then I can't find it anywhere, and I miss my chance of getting one? So,
thank you for listening. This has been a very rambly episode of the pod. Started off with a bit of structure. I had notes on my phone for once.
Yeah.
But look, we somewhere along the way got a bit lost. But thank you so much for listening and watching. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at 50doctor, and you can find us on the 50. Oh, Connor's got. Connor's got more. Sorry, but hold on. I'll just quickly say you can follow us. You can watch us on the videos. 50% Doctor Who Podcast YouTube channel. Connor, what did you have to say from your Instagram post?
Is Sleep No More one of the worst episodes of Doctor Who ever? Yes, it's 43%, and no, it's 57. So actually, some people don't think it's that terrible.
Then those people are wrong.
It's Aidan giving it a 1.
I've been Aidan.
And I've been Connor.
Yeah.
See you next week with
Crispy Pro and Face the Raven.
It's going to be a great one, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
it's going to be a great one.
Best 50 Doctor app ever. Hands down.
Pressure.
Ever. For now.
Now I have to burn this scarf.
Yeah, let's go Freo next week. Sorry. I actually have like dust in my mouth. The Sleep No More monster's got me.
Are you okay? Has Aidan got COVID, ladies and gentlemen?
It's Aidan's and Connor's podcast. They're doing Doctor Who reviews. Doing Doctor Who reviews. Let's go, Freo.
Up the doggies.
Freo. Way to go. Hit 'em real hard. Send 'em down
below. Freo. Let's go.
We are the
Freo Doctor.